Hey, what's up? It's Y, and we're back with another episode of Why Stop Now. Today I'm here with Sada Bond, who, believe it or not, for the first time is not getting interviewed for her musical talent. So Sada, I have to ask, do you have any musical talent? Like, is that a passion of yours?
I do have a little bit of musical talent. I was a singer for a couple years when I was growing up. I was in a choir, so it's ironic that I'm kind of another one that does sing.
Well, that's kind of a common connection. I kind of like to hear that, all my guests are brought together through music, right?
Gotta love that.
Aside of all the schools that you could have chosen to go to, what made you decide to come here to CMU?
Well, I've been in Grand Junction for a while, so I'd been here for a couple of years. I had seen CMU grow from what it was. There's a lot of new facilities, a lot of new stuff going on. So I was like, I might as well take that opportunity. There was a lot of stuff to do here still, so I was like, I might as well.
Have you enjoyed seeing here, like being a local, being from here, watching it grow? Have you enjoyed that? Or is it kind of hard to see like how many people come in from the college?
Well, being from Atlanta, I was always like traveling back and forth. So I'm like a city kid at heart, like stuck in a small town. So I liked seeing it grow. I'm like, there's always like new people coming in, like, and you start seeing like a little bit of traffic and you're like, wow, it's kind of like actually growing here. So it's super cool.
Has that been a huge shift from you when you made the move from Atlanta to come here to little old Grand Junction?
I was young, so I can't say that I got to fully experience, like, I wasn't like working and having to drive an hour like to traffic, but I've seen it like being there as many times as I have, so it's pretty crazy. So it is a huge difference from here and there.
That makes sense. So now you're here in Grand Junction. You're a sophomore here at CMU. Tell me a little bit about your major.
So I'm a sport management major. Sport management is kind of like a broad umbrella. So we do a bunch of different stuff that can be anything like administrative wise. Personally, I want to go into event coordination. So like running facilities, planning games, planning events at stadiums, stuff like that.
That's really cool. And what do you feel like the classes that you're taking now are pretty practical to what you'll be doing, or are you still kind of in that phase where you're just taking the classes to be able to get to those higher levels?
I was lucky enough for a lot of my classes that I've taken are really hands-on, like go out there and go do it. I've done a lot of volunteer stuff. I've done a lot of hands-on working with events. Even if it's hypothetical, it's been turned into like practical situations. So I think I've been pretty lucky in getting some good experience here.
That's awesome. And you're also pretty involved here on campus. You're a part of the, I'm going to butcher it if I try it, but is it the Sports Management Club?
Yes, the Sport Management Club, yeah.
Tell me about that.
So in the Sport Management Club, I'm recently joined and I'm also recently made the president. So as of right now, we're actually working on an event that'll take place in April. It is the Adaptive and Active Lifestyle Expo. So the event focuses on raising awareness, advocacy, and action around our student body and getting to know adaptive sports and what it's like being an athlete with a disability.
That is so cool. So like as the president, are you pretty hands-on and taking the lead on, kind of putting that event together?
So we actually have a pretty big class. It's mixed with undergrad and graduate students, and everybody is very hands-on in that class. Everybody's working pretty hard, so I'm not going to take a bunch of credit, but we have a pretty good group of kids that are working hard for this event. So
that's cool. I'll have to ask you a little bit more about that. That's neat to hear. Like, I'll have to check that out. So another thing that you're involved with here is you work for Career Services.
I do.
We have the etiquette dinner that's coming up here in a couple of weeks, a week or so, right? Maccoy and I, you tried to teach us a little bit of etiquette. Let's take a look at that VDR and see how it went.
Let's look at that.
All right, today we're here with Career Services, and I'm pretty excited for this segment. So Sada, tell me a little bit about what we're gonna do here.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about etiquette. Etiquette comes from a French word. It's kind of like a guideline or expectations about how you're supposed to act, especially in the dining setting. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
I'm excited. And Amy, what's your favorite part of this?
The bread. The bread's my favorite part of it.
Love the bread. Maccoy, how are you feeling going into it?
I'm excited for this one. I think it's good life lesson to know this kind of stuff. So
I agree. I think we could all use a little extra etiquette in our lives. Let's get to it.
One rule when doing an etiquette dinner is always show up around 10 to 15 minutes early. It's just good practice, especially when we do it. We have a long line, so it can take a while. But no matter what, always arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun at the etiquette dinners because everybody likes to dress up and look really nice. So a huge thing for us is attire, which Amy has a dress on from the business closet right now. So you can visit the business closet, which is run through Career Services, and you can get some nice free clothes. So yeah.
And so with drinks, what you're meant to do is whoever the host is, they will start off with the drinks. So would you like to pass the water over to Sada?
And you can be our host for today.
I'm going to be the host?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you just,
Okay.
fancy
you
you.
just pick it up, and then you just pass it to Sada, and then you just place it down.
And you always want to place it down before you do anything with it. That goes for
Yeah.
food, drinks, anything. Before
Okay.
you pick it up to use it, you always want to make sure it
Yeah.
touches the
And
table.
always say your please and thank yous.
So careful.
Down
Set
on the
it down for
table.
you.
Thank you.
Want to get into the bread?
So the bread that we have isn't obviously going to be the one that we use, so it's like kind of like a loaf that you have. So the number one rule is don't go ahead and cut it. Don't do that, because the moment you butter something, you have to eat it. So you would just take a little bit. This one's going to be the butter knife. We don't have butter, so we're just going to imagine we do. You would just put it on, and then we'd eat it. And then you would have a plate and you would put this down. So that's kind of how it goes with the bread. You never want to put it on at once because that means you've got to eat it in one go.
Okay.
So I'm moving my soup aside, taking the napkin, putting it on my lap so I don't ruin my dress, and then take the soup back in the center. That's how I'm doing it. I don't think it's actually meant to be that way, but I can't think that well, so that's why I'm doing it.
So this is going to be your soup spoon on your left side by your salad and dinner fork. So you're going to take your soup spoon. If you guys are ready to get into the soup.
Let's do it.
All right, so you're going to take it and you're going to turn the scooping part like away from you. And you're going to go just directly down and just push. Try to get the bread in there.
Always the fun part about this.
To get the soup out, you're going to scoop away from you. You don't make too much of a mess. Don't try to get too much. And then when you do eat it, make sure not to slurp or anything. Yeah, it's messy. It's not the easiest. But eat from the side of your spoon and try not to slurp if you can.
Good soup.
It's good soup, yeah. I was gonna say.
Good soup
Good
that
soup.
isn't cold.
So when you are ready to take a break or finish eating, because if you're not done, you're gonna set your spoon, leave it in your bowl, right in the soup, which is fine. If you are done, you're gonna set it on the plate to signify that you're ready to get the bowl taken away from you.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel a lot more informed going into this, and I'm super excited. The etiquette dinner will be on February 29th, right? And that's in the UC ballroom?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm super excited, and Maccoy and I will be there simply to eat a little bit more of this soup.
The soup is good.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
Good soup.
We'll see you back in the studio. That soup was so good. I kind of
The
feel
soup.
bad for our videoers who had to just sit there and watch us because that was yummy.
Right, from beginning to end, it was good soup. It was good soup.
So how long have you been working at Career Services?
So I actually started at the beginning of my freshman year, not exactly the beginning, but October of my freshman year. When I first came into Career Services, I was actually doing social media and marketing. That's what my plan was to do.
Okay.
So I had started in there, and then I had talked to one of the supervisors, and she was like, well, I actually need somebody for events. Like, are you interested in doing that? I wasn't really sure. Like, at that point, I was just, like, getting experience doing stuff. I had changed my major, like, 2 or 3 times. So I was like, yeah, sure. And I just really got into that, and I really enjoyed it. So
That's great. So what I mean, the etiquette dinner is coming up soon. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but what are some of the other events that you've helped plan thus far?
So as for this semester, we've done, I think, 3 power hours now. We actually have one coming up tomorrow evening for, it's an engineering one. I do believe it's construction, don't quote me. But we have a power hour coming up tomorrow. We've done 3 of those this semester. We've done the natural resource job fair earlier this semester, and last semester we had a couple of job fairs and power hours as well.
That's cool. So is this your first time being a part of the etiquette dinner?
I was actually part of the etiquette dinner last year, which it was actually in fall semester last year. But
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. It was super fun, and like it was my first events with career services.
Oh, cool.
So it was a really good experience for one of my first events.
So what responsibilities do you specifically take on to plan something like this?
So we're often usually allowed to delegate our own tasks, or like if stuff is running short, like we're given tasks. But when I first started doing events, I was doing checklists. When we got some more established systems going, I started kind of just doing whatever was delegated to me. But I really like hands-on, being at the event to help. I'm a big operations person. That's not exactly what I want to do in the future, but that's what I'm good at now. So I can set up takedown super fast. I can get people organized pretty fast. So
That's awesome. So give me your plug right now on why I should show up to the etiquette dinner this year.
well, I mean the soup,
Soup, that
that's
says it all, truly.
enough. But there's a bunch of people. It's a good time. It's a networking event, so we sit employers down at your table. So not only are you getting the etiquette experience firsthand, you're actually meeting with somebody that you don't know very well that actually is a higher level professional. So you're getting that genuine experience of being at a business dinner. We like to laugh. It's not anything ever serious, so it's really fun to just be there. You can invite your friends, and once again, good food. You can't pass up free good food. So
Especially that soup.
that soup, it's gonna be good.
That's fun. So what would you say that the greatest challenge is that you've had to overcome with your event planning?
With me, it's I'm a big I'm gonna do it myself. I'm an individual worker, so sometimes I feel I have I'll try to put my hand in too much, but just being able to relax, it's not a stressful thing, you'll get it done. I think it's really frantic in the moment because you're oh, I'm forgetting this, oh, I have this to do, but just relax, you'll get it done, it'll work out. If it doesn't work out, you know that for the future. So that's something I also really like about events.
Yeah, that's
There's always
great.
room for correction.
Something that you can build off of,
Right.
after you make the mistake, you know what you need to work on next
Right.
time. Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to add that maybe I didn't touch on?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in this week.
Thank you for having me.
I've really enjoyed talking to you, getting to know you a little bit better. Once again, you got to give me the date, the time, the location as your final plug.
Okay. So date is February 29th, 6 to 8 p.m. in the UC Ballroom.
Perfect. And we should see you there then. Why stop now? The story is just getting started.